Okay, today is June 21st, and check out, oh my goodness, there's my hummingbird. So check out the petunias. They are huge. So the last video I did was, I believe, June 8th. So it's been a little bit. They do look a little, they're a little bit misshapen. They're not perfectly like uniform. So we went on a 3-day trip to Gettysburg, and I set them in the shade for those 3 days. So I don't think they're very happy about that. We just got back Wednesday, so I immediately set them in the sun, immediately watered them. I wanted to put them in the shade so that while we were gone, they didn't immediately bake out in this 100-degree weather and immediately dry out. So I'm going to trim them up, give them a little shot of fertilizer, but otherwise they are doing great. They are so big I can barely fit through there to walk down the steps. It's amazing. And it's technically not even summer yet, so we still have all summer to go. But I'm going to trim them up, make them look a little bit better. But I just love them so much. Can't believe how big they are. And then check out this Silver Falls Dichondra. This thing is getting so big in this little Dollar Tree basket. I love it so much. I can't believe how quick this thing has grown either. I want to do, next year I want to do like a jellyfish pot with the petunia on top and then the dichondra at the bottom. I think those look so cool. Then we have my dwarf tomato. This is a Waratah dwarf, and it actually has a little tomato on it. Check it out. So adorable. Don't mind my dirty nails from soil. Gardeners know all about the dirty nail situation. But look at all of the flowers on that. How adorable. And it looks so healthy. So good in this pot. 14-inch pot. Same exact pot as that from the Dollar Tree. And check out the gorgeous Amazonas plum cockatoo. I love the growing habit on this. You can barely see the foliage. It's just all flowers. It's so crazy. This thing grows so good, and that's one plant right there. So I could just imagine like a whole pot full of these, like maybe 3, I think would fill this pot out like perfectly. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Absolutely love this. My husband thinks it's hideous. He always says he thinks it's really ugly. I love it. I think it's so weird, so unique. You don't see a lot of petunias like this. I love purple and green together. You can also see my elephant ear has popped up. I was really worried that it was going to get shaded out down here and not be able to come through, but it did. And it's doing really good. Everything in this pot looks wonderful. We got the blackberry jam petunias, the Tuscany peach verbena, more blackberry jam petunias. And there's another one of my little backyard buddies waiting for me to give him a treat. He just had a bagel for breakfast. Now he's looking for more. And they're getting really used to me out here. I'm kind of scared of them. They are so cute. Hey, dude. Oh my gosh, he's just so cute. I love coming out here. The hummingbirds, the squirrels, and there's another one. The squirrels, we have deer here in the backyard. It's just like a little woodland critter paradise. But the Kufia is doing so good back here. Really full and lush, nice and uniform. And I can confirm, I have seen a hummingbird at the Kufia and the Lantana. So I actually caught him at both. So definitely can confirm hummingbirds do love Lantana and Kufia for sure. This is the cherry sunrise, looking really good. Yellow, orange, peach, pink, red. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Love it so much. The pink improved. Bandana lantana. Really love all of these little colors, and there's so many buds and flowers on this plant. This one doesn't have as many, but it's still gorgeous. This one has a ton. Really love it. But check out these petunias again while we walk by. I can't get over these. They're huge. It's so hard for me to walk between them. And then we have my portulaca here, doing really good. I was really worried when we left because these pots are so tiny. These are the Dollar Tree hanging baskets, but they did really great. There's 3 plants in each of these pots, and they're filling out fine. They handle drought really well. I do have to deadhead them because I don't know if you can see, they get like right here, they'll get like a little crusty. I just pull it off. This is what the petals look like when they start to die off, but I just pull them off really quick and they look great. I love that plant so much. I didn't like it when we first got it, but now it's like one of my favorite hanging baskets that we have. And then the dahlias are doing great, putting off a ton of flowers, have a ton of blooms. You can see the hanging baskets. These were put in the shade also. I took a little tray of water and watered them really good. Set them in the tray of water for 3 days in the shade. So they look a little grumpy. But I'll trim them up and get them back on track. But they are a ton of blooms. And I know I've mentioned the variety in previous videos, but this is the Supertunia Mini Vista Ultramarine. And these are the Supertunia Vista Silverberry. These 2 white ones. We have another one here. Huge, huge plant. I might trim all of this off and just let it send some energy to the middle here to create a nice mound. And then more dahlias. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like something took a bite out of the petals there. Look at all the buds. Such a beautiful little flower. This one has like double petals. Really pretty orange and yellow stripe. Bunch of buds on that. We have the gladiolus back there. Marigold actually looks like it's coming back, which is exciting. Calendula. And then the calendula back there, they get shaded out. And then I still have this goofy little tomato plant. It actually has 2 little tomatoes on it. So this is the one that had like the weird disease or the virus from a bug, I believe. But I've just been watering it and letting it live. This is a prairie fire. And I was so excited to have this tomato in the garden this year. This is the only one I think that survived. Prairie fires are like orange and red striped tomatoes. Really, really sweet. They're not aroma, although they look like it. Just a sweet, like 8 out of 10 on the Brix sweetness meter, which is very, very high. Snacking tomato. So yeah. I'm just going to keep that there, see what it does. Let's walk out to the garden and check on that. We have all of the seedlings here getting huge. I still haven't up-potted the tomatoes or put them in the ground. Have the poppies there, catnip, these sunflowers. I got to get these guys out in the ground ASAP. Nasturtium, the foxglove are getting huge. Hollyhock. 2 of those. And then look at the columbine. These are getting huge. I can't believe how much they look like clovers. That's so crazy to me. And you can see clovers in the background. But these are getting huge. They're doing so good. We got the cucamelon, bunch of tomatoes. I mean, they are huge. They're getting flowers on them and everything in these tiny, tiny little pots. We got some basil back here, amaranth, purple basil. And then we got the bean garden with some dwarf tomatoes. Oh, I actually see a bean. This is a dragon tongue bush bean. So it's white and purple, but when you cook it, it turns green. And then we have another Weratah dwarf, same one that's up on the deck, has 2 tomatoes on it. And then a Werakawai dwarf, nothing on that yet. You can see we got some spaghetti squash flowers, and there's actually a baby spaghetti squash right there. You can see that. Another plant, another Werakawai dwarf. Ooh! And a bug landed on me. And then we have the snack bell pepper and the impatiens over here. They do look a little bad. I don't know what's going on with them, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they dried out while I was gone. And then we have, I put the orange coleus back here. We got the hosta, another impatient. And you can see more peppers. So this looks like a pretty and sweet pepper maybe. I didn't label them like I should have, because as soon as they come and they get their color, I'll be able to tell what's what. Here's a Carolina Reaper. And then we have a habanada, another habanada. And these are the peppers that almost died. They lost all of their leaves. They like completely dropped all of their leaves except like for 2 at the top. I truly thought they were gone, but they have a ton of flowers on them. This one has a ton of peppers. This is a habanada. Cute little jalapeno peppers. You can see where it lost all of its leaves, but now it's starting to get some back. This is the Resha Macedonia. Another habanada. Look at the little baby bell peppers already. And then we got the big poblanos. Another pretty and sweet with a bunch of peppers on it. Just a sweet pepper. And then a ton already of Resha Macedonia peppers. Check those out. Really big. And these get like the embroidery, the scarring on it, which I think is hideous, but apparently in the pepper world it's a desirable characteristic of a pepper. And then you can see the early girl, ton of tomatoes on that. We got my monkey ass here. Don't see any tomatoes on that yet. And then the hillbilly tomato, pineapple. All these guys are doing great. I had to pull off a couple tomatoes that were a little cat-faced, but they do have some good ones forming. So this is a Sartre Rollet, the white and purple. And then this is the pineapple. See, when they look like this, I've been pulling them off. It's already cracked. So this would just turn out to be a funky tomato. And I would rather have the tomato send its energy to forming a better one. You can see the Black Beauty here already getting its color. Bunch of tomatoes on that. Impatiens look great. Marigold looks lovely. We have Dr. Witchies. Some big tomatoes on that. Just pulled off a bunch of ripe strawberries yesterday off of the strawberry patch. You can see flowers on that. It's putting out a bunch of runners. We got the nasturtium at the bottom. This is a Kellogg's breakfast tomato. Check out the size of that one. And it's only June. We have the Sugar Baby watermelon here. And then the Kajari melon. beautiful ranunculus just opened up. I'm a little worried that it's a little late in the season for these because they are a cool weather plant. It has been getting like 100 degrees outside, so I don't know, I hope they do okay. Volunteer pepper here. I'm just going to let that grow and see what it does. You can see the Resha Macedonian and the pretty and sweet pepper better from this side. Oh, and a zinnia opened up. Check it out. First zinnia of the year. And these are the zinnias from the part of them from the baking tray that I did. Let's see, down there we have some sweet pea flowers that I planted. Struggling to get some sun. More ranunculus down here. I planted them way too late. I think they're really suffering in this heat. More peppers. Let's see back there, 2 bell peppers, just snack bells, tiny baby bell peppers. And then all of the tomatoes are looking good besides a few. Now this one right here, the gold medal, and that one I believe is another pineapple. They look like they're struggling a little bit. So I have just been watering them as much as possible to flush out whatever's in the soil, whatever might be hurting them. So we'll see if they recover, but if not, we have plenty of more. That's why I plant so many tomatoes. That's why I plant so many backup tomatoes. But yeah, we'll still have a ton of tomatoes no matter what. More sugar baby watermelon, volunteer ground cherry, another Kajari melon. Then we have sun gold, and we've already taken probably 5 or 6 ripe tomatoes off of this. But look at that truss there, full of tomatoes. You can see a ton down there, truss at the bottom, full of tomatoes. And then over here, I forget what type of tomato that is, but it also has tomatoes on it. This Tulsi or holy basil is getting huge. This is like 1,000,000 plants right here. I'm gonna have to dig some of those up, pull them up. Cucamelon, sweet pea flowers, blue queen butterfly pea flowers. This is a weed. Pull that up. This is a volunteer Tulsi, holy basil. Got a sunflower back there, zinnia, and all of these are sweet peas and butterfly peas. We have a volunteer coneflower here, 3 of those. Lavender looks great. You can see I planted sunflowers next to them. And then the big stargazer lily, starting to get buds on it. We got the Scarlet O'Hara morning glory, starting to grab a hold of the thing here. I was thinking about pulling it out, but I never did. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to pull it out or not. I'm going to regret it if I don't, but then I'm going to regret it if I do. So either way. Either way. Oh, and I see a coneflower has bloomed. I'll show you that in a second. Bunch of yarrow there, lavender, ranunculus, more ranunculus here, vinca. Let's see, this is a zinnia here, and then we have a tree of hell sneaking in back there, but check it out. Look at the coneflower. Already opened up. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You can see a bunch of buds on it. Now I forgot to tie it up, and look what happened. It all fell down. I'm gonna have to come out here with my jute twine and tie it to the fence like I did last year. You can see a bunch of sunflowers, and I'll show you the black hollyhocks. They've bloomed. So exciting. But then under here we have the petunias, vincas, verbena. We got the artichoke there, sunflower, all of the rest of the zinnias from the baking tray. Everything just looks so good. And then we have An artichoke there getting ready to bloom. More tomatoes. I think this is the vintage wine. And then Minnesota midget, cantaloupe, another tree of hell. It is a tree of heaven. I call it the tree of hell because it comes up everywhere and drives me crazy. Kajari melons, black beauty, doesn't look good. Everything that I put in this bed, I told you before, it dries out, but also there's just like something in this bed. The plants just don't do good. I don't know what it is. It's been a couple years now. I had a plant in this spot die. Yeah, it got watered and fed just like all my other tomatoes. It died, so I replaced it with another tomato. That died. This tomato is dying. The monkey-ass tomato died that I put over there. And then this one got topped off by deer, but then it looks like it's dying also. So this bed, I think I'm going to till it, put in some different types of compost, maybe plant a bunch of corn or wheat or something in here to try to just suck up whatever is in this bed, flush it out, something. I don't know. I need to do something. There's something weird going on in this bed. I couldn't imagine if this was the only bed that I had. I would be so discouraged with gardening because it gets watered, it gets mulched properly. I mean, the soil seems nice. It does dry out really fast, but man, I just don't know what in the heck could be going on here. And I see behind this, oh my gosh, a clematis. So I got a bare root clematis from the grocery store, Aldi's, and you can see, oh my gosh, it made a flower. I looked online and it said it wasn't going to show me a bloom for like 3 years. So that's exciting. Wow. Maybe I'll just fill this bed up with a bunch of flowers. See what lives and what doesn't. You can see all of the zinnias from this angle. They're all doing really good. And check out my black hollyhock. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful plant. And it's still getting taller. Let me see if I can get this beautiful big bottom one here. You can see this thing is covered with spotted lanternflies. Those are the nymphs. If you see them, squash them. But these are so beautiful. I can't get over how big and beautiful those are. Wow. And that's the only one. I hope it drops. I'm going to let that drop seed too. So we'll have a ton of foxglove, hollyhock, zinnias. Will be like a little wildflower patch. And I am going to tie the coneflower up with my twine later on. And you can see the old foxglove went to seed. I'm going to save some of those. But yeah, this is the sad bed. But then we have accidentally broke a couple of these leaves off with the hose. So, and that's a hornet. So it's missing a bunch of branches, but you can see it's got a bunch of tomatoes. That's a Werickeii dwarf, I believe. And then some zinnias, marigolds look good. Blue cream berry, cherry tomato, pink bumblebee, and then we have a ton of Minnesota midget cucumbers, Kajari melons. The Rutgers tomato actually has a couple little tomatoes on it, a bunch of buds, bunch of flowers. And then we have, I think this is another Dr. Witchy's, has some flowers on it. Does have some yellowing down here at the leaves. So I'll have to figure out what that is. Chlorosis, iron deficiency maybe. Nitrogen. I don't think my beds are low on nitrogen, but I could be wrong. The mulch could have leached some nitrogen from the soil. And then we have the white currant tomato here, and it has a bunch of little baby tomatoes on it. And this is like how big they actually get too. Look how tiny that is. And these are completely white. I wanted these on the Baker Creek website. Baker Creek themselves commented on the forum, and they said they're one of the sweetest tomatoes, so really excited about that. And you can see a tomato through there on that plant. Looks like it's doing pretty good. We got the scarlet runner bean. Has a bunch of buds on it. I'm growing this for the flowers. I think that's mainly what everybody grows scarlet runner beans for. The bright, beautiful orange flowers. And then we have the Prescott Fond Blanc melon doing really good. But yeah, that is the garden update. Everything's looking pretty good aside from a couple tomatoes. I gotta put some more mulch down. I don't know if I showed this. Some tomatoes on that. And the Kajari melon has a ton of flowers on it already, so that's exciting. We're gonna have some melons here soon. Baby melons. But I will do another update in a week or two, and we'll see how everything is doing. I think we usually get our first early girl or our first ripe tomato like July 5th, 6th, 7th. So not too long from now, we'll be getting ripe tomatoes out of here, and I'll see you then.